Which one is the best, Wispr Flow or Aqua Voice? Now, they are basically the same software. They are dictation tools that let you convert your audio or your speech into text, and they position themselves as a tool to let you prompt with AI much faster, because instead of just typing manually, you can tell AI with your voice speaking, and then it will produce the prompt that's accurate to your voice. And it is being powered by AI, and therefore it can fix any error or any mistake that you say when you are speaking the words. So I think these tools are very close. Wispr Flow is already established, and then we have a new contender called Aqua Voice. And even though they are the same, there are few differences. So one example here, Aqua Voice as a new player claims to be faster than Wispr Flow, and they also claim to be much more accurate than Wispr Flow, although the data is based on their own benchmark, and I have seen many companies claiming that their product or their speech model is better than competitors, and I can tell that this is definitely biased. This is not going to represent real life, because there is no there are some models that are missing, like there is no Deep Gram Nova, which I think is also one of the best speech model, but it is not present here for some reason, even though it has similar features to Aqua Voice, and it actually they also claim to be the best at reducing error rate. But again, that's why I don't really trust the benchmark, because it could be very different depending on the use case. Now, enough about the differences. Let's talk about what's the same about these tools. So number one, they both are AI-powered dictation tools where they can fix the mistake on your voice. You can also see the historical data about the voice that have been converted into text. So if there is any content or any text that you don't want to say again, you can just check the historical data and just copy the text. And then there is custom dictionary. So if there is any brand name or maybe product name that is foreign to AI, you can just tell AI, you can put a dictionary that basically AI will understand and will make sure that the name will be properly detected the next time. And then both software are available for Mac and Windows. They also offer some settings that will ensure high privacy priority, like you can just set the data to be stored on your computer. They're not going to send the data to the server, which I think is a good point. I think a lot of people care a lot about privacy. And then lastly, they do offer free and paid plans. So if you're not ready to pay for these companies, you can just use the free plan, and that's fine. Although there will be some limitations. Now I'm going to do some testing, just a quick testing based on how do they perform. So I'm going to do a mistake test, list test, emoji test, context, free version, and pro version, and then total. By the way, I'm not going to do the pro version, like I'm not going to use the pro versions of this software, because right now I'm still using the free version of both Wispr Flow and Aqua Voice. But for this example, for this test, I'm going to talk about something else. I'm going to be talking about the pricing, as well as the features that come when you're paying or using the free version of each of these software. Now let's do the test number one. And by the way, just to confirm, just to show you that I'm using two software. So this is Aqua Voice and this is Wispr Flow. So they do look the same, and I do believe they're built on the same technology, because I can tell that this is web-based technology, but they converted into a desktop application, which is fine, by the way, there's no problem with that. But there are some buggy experiences, although I believe they're going to fix that in the near future. Alright, so let's try Wispr Flow first, and let's try Aqua Voice. So I'm going to press a keyboard shortcut to enable Wispr Flow, and then later I will do the same for Aqua Voice, and I'm going to say the same thing. Alright. Hey, remind me to buy some groceries later in the morning. Sorry, I mean in the evening. Alright, you can see that it corrects the mistake. It didn't show anything about morning, because it knows that there was a mistake, and therefore it fixed the mistake, and now just showing the correct version of the word. So that's pretty good. Now let's close this, and I'm going to do it again for Aqua Voice. Hey, remind me to buy some groceries later in the morning. Sorry, I mean in the evening. All right, it is also the same, and it is, yeah, it is accurate. It doesn't mention anything about the morning. So the score is 1 and 1 for both tools. Now, how about list test? I want to test the ability for these tools to create a list based on my command. So let's try Wispr Flow first. Okay, tomorrow I want to buy number 1 milk, number 2 pizza, number 3 hamburger. Alright, that's pretty good. How about Aqua Voice? Tomorrow I want to buy number 1 milk, number 2 pizza, number 3 hamburger. And yeah, I would say they are exactly the same, except you might have noticed that there is small punctuation added at the end of the word. So there is this punctuation, another punctuation, and there is this period at the end. In my opinion, there is nothing wrong with that, but I would say it is more accurate for Wispr Flow, because if you have a list, usually you don't have to add any comma. But honestly, I don't know the convention here, so I could be wrong. But from what I can remember, it's usually correct to just not include comma after a sentence or word in a bullet point format. So I suppose Wispr Flow is better here, but it's not, I'm not going to call it 1-0. I think it's still 1 and 1. It's still basically doing the job pretty well. And then the emoji test. So I want to create some emojis, but by just saying it. Alright, let's try Wispr Flow. Fire emoji, rocket emoji, smiley emoji. There you go, that's pretty good. How about Aqua Voice? Fire emoji, rocket emoji, smiley emoji. Alright, they are basically identical, so the score is still the same, 1 and 1. Now, how about context? So this is the one that I think I already know the answer. So one feature that Aqua Voice have is context. So it can understand what's going on the screen. This is optional feature, by the way, but it lets AI in Aqua Voice to understand what's going on, what software you're using right now, and therefore it can adjust the output accordingly. So when you're working with ChatGPT and when you're working with, let's say, Cursor AI, the output could be slightly different. One example is when you are working with AI code editor, and you can specify or you can mention the let's say the specific element in the code, and it will format it will create a syntax format. So let me give you one example. So I have Windsurf here, and let's say I want to edit, let me see. Okay, let's say I want to edit this section, console.error message. I want to change that, and I'm going to provide this command using, let's say, Wispr Flow. I want to edit console.error. And this is the result. It's console.error, which is fine. There is no problem with that. But if you're using Aqua Voice, it's going to be a bit different. So I'm going to double tap the Alt key on Aqua Voice. That's how you can enable the feature. Oh, it doesn't appear. Okay, let me double check. So usually it should appear, but for some reason it there was a problem, I guess. Let me check that. Yeah, as I said earlier, the software is still a bit buggy for some reason, and it's, I would say, because it is still very new, and therefore it's not going to be smooth experience for everyone. And I have seen some buggy mess happening, but hopefully they're going to fix the problem very soon. Alright, let me check some settings. There could be something that I accidentally changed, or maybe not. Okay, let me try it again. Okay, still doesn't show the mode, but I guess I cannot show it right now. But there should be an example here. Let me check the official website. So there is this context awareness. And okay, I think there is one example at the very top. So here, basically you're going to see this at the bottom of the screen. Okay, it's not playing, and it can create syntax format like that. And this is not available on Wispr Flow. So I think this feature could be very useful when you are doing the code, when you are using it for creating prompt in AI code editor. So that's the benefit of using Aqua Voice for vibe coding, which is quite trendy lately. So for this particular case, it's safe to say that Aqua Voice is winning. Yes, it does have context awareness, but Wispr Flow, they don't have it at the moment, but hopefully they're going to add one in the future. So the score is 0 to 1. All right, now the free version. This is very interesting. Both software offer free version, but you'll see that the pricing would be different. So right now, the free version on Wispr Flow is going to give you 2000 words per week, which is actually quite generous if you're not using it like crazy. 2000 words per week is actually enough, and you will get everything, all the features like dictionary or fast voice typing, privacy mode, support to over 100 languages, etc. And on Aqua Voice, for a free user, you only get 1000 free words. I don't really know whether this is per week, per month, or maybe per year, like just 1000 per new user. I don't know, but presumably I would say this is going to be 1000 free words per month. I think that's reasonable, which I think is very, very small compared to Wispr Flow, because Wispr Flow is 2000, and trust me, 1000 per month is not enough. You're going to just exhaust all of that in just a few days. So 1000 is not going to be enough. So I don't know why they choose to give the free plan to be this little. It's almost useless, and I guess they have different reason. But if you are a free user, then just go with Wispr Flow. I don't think it's going to be enough for Aqua Voice users to just rely on the free version of the tool. So definitely Wispr Flow is more generous, and let's say not enough. Score is 1 to 0. All right, and now still related to the pricing, the price for yearly subscription for Wispr Flow is $12 a month, and it includes unlimited words per week. It includes everything on the free version, and there's going to be the command mode, which is very useful. Actually, I have made a video about command mode where you can select text and then send a message to AI in Wispr Flow to edit the text, so you can improve the prompt with AI. So it is basically two tools in one form. I think that's going to be useful. And there's going to be some features and mobile usage still only on iOS at the moment, so Android user cannot use it. That's very unfortunate. But yeah, unlimited words, $12 a month, pretty generous. But on Aqua Voice, it's even more generous. You can get unlimited words and only $8 per month. So it is cheaper than Wispr Flow. And I would say if you are willing to pay, then just go with Aqua Voice, because it is more generous. It is cheaper than Wispr Flow. So they are more generous at the pro plan, but Wispr Flow is more generous at the free plan. I think that's the conclusion that I could make based on the pricing. So the pro version on Wispr Flow is more expensive, and Aqua Voice cheaper. So the score is 0 to 1. So in total, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5. So there are 5, and then this also 5. Yeah, that's not really surprising. Oh, actually, it's not 5. It's actually 6, not 5. Sorry about that. Yeah, I made a mistake. Yeah, 6 to 5. So Wispr Flow, even though I like using it, it is actually not as good as Aqua Voice, at least based on this testing. But of course, there are many other considerations that I probably did not mention in this video. And honestly, again, based on everything, based on what I explained on this video, I would say if you're willing to pay, just go with Aqua Voice. If you are planning to just use the free version, then use Wispr Flow. And actually that's the one that I'm using right now, because 2000 words is pretty generous. So yeah, that's my testing and feel free to make your own conclusion based on everything that you have heard. So if you find this video to be useful, then feel free to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on my next video. Have a great day.